All right, here we go. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Let me know in the chat if we're sounding all right. I am doing this solo, producing at my house, as you guys have seen with our normal videos the last couple of days. And I said, you know what? Didn't get to go live on Monday. I don't want to wait till Thursday. Let's go live tonight, and we'll hang out. You guys can fire in the chat and ask me your questions. We could talk about some of the news of the day, and we'll have a grand old time. Should be fun. So hashtag Bears Super Chat. Get your questions answered on the show. And if you guys want more of these at-home live setups, we can do that. Could be a good time. So go ahead and fire away. I can give some shout-outs in the chat here. Everybody's saying it's sounding all right. Joshua saying perfect. Jennifer says sounds good. Can you see super chats? Yes, we will be able to put super chats on the show. So if you super chat, we'll put them on screen. I'll even bring the boom if someone drops 100. I'm on the opposite end of my wife and son, although they might make a cameo appearance. You never know. Colin in the chat. Who needs a producer anyway? Shout out Colin. He was actually helping me out before I went live here. So appreciate him as always. Who else we got in here? We got Rebecca saying beautiful sound. Yeah, I do like this microphone. We might mess with the microphones in the office at some point. Who knows? But by the way, I can't remember who it was. Someone pointed this out on one of the videos. This is like a vintage Bears lamp that I got for Christmas. So pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. We'll get to Dennis's super chat here in just a moment. So give me a second on that. You guys will have to bear with me. This is I'm going to be able to get to everything, but it's going to take me a little bit of time. So just bear with me. Also, let me know if it's lagging a little bit. That was part of my concern about going live at home. If it sounds okay, hopefully we're good to go. But I see Wasim's question coming in there as well. No lag at all. Now OG says the mic is lagging a little bit, so we'll see if it becomes a problem. We can always sign off or whatever. Colin, I don't know if you're watching still, but I don't see any of the new super chats coming in, so I don't know if that's a me problem. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Here's one coming in. All right. We got Dennis, the Chicago kid. New place, new TV. Your face is on 70 inches. Pause. Yeah, you said it best. Pause. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah, this is my new house. So gonna add some floating shelves behind me and some different stuff to kind of spice up the at-home studio. But this is the setup. So appreciate you guys. We got Wasim saying love the dedication. HGFGB. Get the FGBs in the chat for my guy Wasim. He's been here for a long time. We appreciate him very, very much. Okay, now I'm being told. Okay, hang on. Mic is bad. All right, let's see. One sec. Better or worse on the mic? Better or worse on the mic? Still bad? Better now? Okay, I think I know what I have to do. Okay. Troubleshooting on the fly, guys. This is how we're gonna do it. So that's just how it's gonna be. So this was Isaiah the other day. So let me go ahead and re-hit these then. We got Dennis the Chicago kid, new place, new TV. Appreciate the 2 from him. Wasim says, love the dedication. Get the FGBs in the chat for Wasim. Someone's asking, is Cullen still celebrating? I would imagine so. I mean, the guy has had the year of a lifetime. He's an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. They won the finals. Looks like they might win it again. He's a Seattle Seahawks fan. They're in the Super Bowl. They're a healthy favorite over the Patriots. And he's a Mariners fan. They were one game away from the World Series. So, North Texas almost made the college football playoff. The guy is having the year of his life. So, yeah, I would say he's gonna feel pretty good about that, like he has been. Okay, Christ is King. Home tour, LOL. Looks and sounds great. Besides the player roster changing, who do you see Ben bringing in on the coaching roster? Running back coach, quarterbacks, etc. Yeah, so I forget the guy's first name, but Stoodsville is the name that's been linked for the running backs coach. I'll probably talk about that on a video tomorrow. I do have a video going out tonight after this stream. I just wanted to go live and kind of hang out with you guys. Quarterbacks coach, I mean, JT Barrett is not going anywhere, barring something surprising. Let's see. Yeah, chat's telling me stream's not the best. We're trying our best here. We've never done this from home, so it's possible the bandwidth isn't great, even though I am hardwired in. Let's see. Let me try something real quick, actually. Let me X out of this. Let me X out of a couple things. 1 second here. Give me just a moment. Okay. All right, let's see if those things helped a little bit. Again, just kind of trying this on the fly. If it works well, great. If not, no harm, no foul. Okay. All right. Hopefully it's a little better right now. I paused some things behind the scenes here to free up some bandwidth. Doesn't have to be perfect. Humbled says, sounds good on my end. Appreciate it. We appreciate it for sure. Yeah, I think the big thing to watch on the coaching staff front is Declan Doyle. He's getting an interview with the Ravens. That would be a great opportunity, right? I mean, if Declan Doyle gets the Ravens offered the OC job there, it'd be hard to turn down. He would have full control of the offense. Jesse Minter is a first-time head coach. He's a defensive guy, so he would hand the keys to Declan. Whereas the Philadelphia job, there's a lot that goes into that, so I didn't blame him from withdrawing there. So we'll see on that. I was told by a source today, and again, a lot of this stuff I'm hitting in the video that's going to come out tonight. I was told by a source today that Al Harris is not expected to get the Steelers job. So that's good news for the Bears, right? I mean, that eliminates another team that Al Harris could potentially go to. So that's good. Stoodsville, I forget the guy's first name, is the name to watch for running backs coach. I also wonder, could I'm blanking on his name now. I actually have I could pull up a graphic in a minute if I need to. Could Tanner Engstrand, who got fired by the Jets but worked with Ben in Detroit, could he be an option to add to this coaching staff? I think all that's a possibility. So we'll have to wait and see, but all that is certainly on the table. Minter and Doyle are twins. They do look alike. Appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat, by the way. Romy says, I don't think Ian Cunningham is going to the Falcons. Well, he's one of 2 finalists there, so he's got a pretty good chance. The question is, if he gets the job, will the Bears get the compensatory draft picks? That appears to be up in the air at this point in time. So I'm not really 100% sure on that front when it comes to that. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll work in some hashtag Bears questions as well. So if you guys want to get those questions in here, let me see here. I don't know if these are new. today. I think they are new today. I'll just kind of circle through some of these. Kiddis, who do you think will be the next Bears running backs coach? I just hit on that. I think his name is, let me look it up real quick. I think it's Eric Studesville. Yeah, Eric Studesville. Let me pull up his Wikipedia page. So he actually was on the Bears coaching staff from 1997 to 2000. He was a quality control coach and then eventually became receivers coach. He's been a running backs coach since then, though. Giants from 01 to 03, Bills 04 to 07. He also was the run game coordinator in Buffalo from 08 to 09. Broncos running backs coach 2010, was actually their interim head coach in 2010. Not sure who the Broncos fired then. I'm trying to think who that would be. Would that be Mike Shanahan? Maybe? Let me see. No, Josh McDaniels. When Josh McDaniels got fired by the Broncos, he became the interim. He stayed on in Denver from 11 to 16, became the Dolphins running backs coach and run game coordinator from 2017 to 2020. And that's where he overlapped with Ben Johnson for some of those years. He was the co-OC in Miami in 2021, along with the running backs coach. In the last 4 years, he's been the associate head coach and running backs coach for the Dolphins. 58 years old, so he's been around. He's been around for a very, very long time as an NFL coach for basically 3 decades. So he certainly has some credentials there, does Eric Studesville. Okay, sprint through a couple more here. If you super chat, we'll certainly work those in as well. Your average Bears fan says, for any Packers fans, you guys just didn't hire a DC with fourth quarter defensive problems, right? Yeah, the Cardinals through 3 quarters were excellent this year, and they struggled in fourth. He also says, really quick, I typed something at the very top. Could you go back or just retype it? I would say retype it. Not sure what you wanted there. Sean, if it were your decision to make, would you rather trade for an edge or get one in the draft, and why? If I knew the guy I was drafting was going to be a high-level player right away, I'd rather do that because it doesn't cost me extra draft picks. But, the sure thing would be trading for a proven player. So, we'll see who's available. Lacora, Bears pick one. Trade for Max Crosby and trade away DJ Moore. Trade for Jeffrey Simmons for potentially a second rounder. I doubt. Yeah, I think you're going to have to. It's going to cost you a first. Draft an edge first rounder. I mean, if all things were equal, I'd choose the second option. But Jeffrey Simmons seems pretty excited to play under Robert Saleh. I don't think they're going to trade him. All right, I'll get back to some super chats here in a moment as a few have come in. Got to wait for them to load though. Do one more #Bears. Dylan Campbell, would you trade next year's first 2027 round pick, a second round pick this year, and a third next year? So a first next year, a second this year, a third next year. We keep this year and we draft Caleb Downs. It's a lot to give up for a safety, but Caleb Downs is a pretty special player. First and a third next year and a second this year. That's a lot, man. He better be an all-pro. That's all I got to say. He better be an all-pro if you're going to give up that much for a defensive back. All right, still waiting for these super chats to load in. I will get to those once they do. Shout out to Leaf and Dread. Here we go. Got a couple coming in. We got Leaf saying, what's the lowest pick you'd take for DJ? 6th? I don't. I'd probably rather I'd rather keep him than just get a 6. Now, it depends. Like, all this isn't really a lot of it is not about what you would get. It's about the money. It clears up $16 million in cap and $24 million in cash, and the cash part of it is not discussed enough because these teams are given by ownership X amount of dollars each offseason. Hey, you can spend this much. Make it work, right? I don't know what the Bears' budget is this offseason, but if you free up $24 million in cash, that can go a long way. So that's part of it. 6th is pretty low, honestly. Like, I'd almost rather just restructure DJ than take a 6th. So yeah, I think he's worth more than that. But I don't think you're probably going to get more than like a fourth. If you got a fourth, freed the money, and you use that money to add some pass rush help, that's probably what you're looking for. Okay, Dread Gang, appreciate the 5. Can't stress enough how good Ben Johnson is. Love his mindset and coaching. Saying we don't build off this, we're at the bottom. Love that. Yeah, I mean, look, you start over. You start over. And look, certain things you can, of course, build off of, right? Like Caleb Williams. I think like he can build off of this season, but you have to go back to the basics and the fundamentals. I think there's certain schematical things you can build on and add to your playbook. It's not like you're installing a brand new playbook. So there are things to quote unquote build off of. What he's saying though is that everybody is 0-0. You have to earn it all over again. And he's absolutely right. Like that's just how it is. So, whether the Seahawks or the Patriots win, even the Super Bowl winner is going to start with the same record as the New York Jets. So it's a whole new journey next year. You got to put in the work, and if you don't, it can be a long year. So we'll see how the Bears respond coming off their first good year in a while. Okay, Crisis King, never experienced having to worry about teams wanting our coaches. Yeah, it's a new experience for sure. Fearless, what do you think about the Toledo safety? He's pretty fun. I forget the guy's name. Is he at the Senior Bowl? I'd have to look into that. That's gotten going down in Mobile. But yeah, he's getting some round one buzz. I think second round for sure, but he could sneak into the first round. I think Daniel Jeremiah may have mocked him into the first round. I'd have to double check that, but he's a fun player. And Toledo seems like every year has at least one or two pros, so pretty impressive. DC Viper, how would you grade Caleb's performance from this year to last year? Much improved. I know, like, technically, like, the completion percentage went down, but a lot of throwaways. He did not take bad sacks like he did last year. A lot of drops. The Bears led the NFL in dropped yardage. And yeah, he did have some accuracy issues, and that's why he said in his closing press conference, accuracy and footwork. Those are the two things he's working on this offseason. So, the pressure to sack rate, playing within structure, deep ball accuracy, leadership. I think all those things he improved at drastically this year, which is great to see. And if he just tightens the screws on some of the basics, I think he's a superstar in the making. I really do. So I'm pleased with where he is. I think he is going to continue to ascend, and we'll see where it goes. As I got a message my guy Cullen back, but we got some things figured out from earlier's microphone issues. Okay. DC again, what are your thoughts on the defensive tackle out of Illinois? I know people were talking about him on Twitter from the Shrine Bowl, maybe. Haven't looked much into him. The only defensive tackles I've kind of watched early on here, Caden McDonald out of Ohio State, Peter Woods, who I thought was better last year than this year, but still a good player. And I'm starting to look more into Caleb Banks. If he's healthy, I think he's a pretty intriguing option. The kid out of Florida. Had he had a fully healthy year, I think he'd be a top 15 pick. So those are a few guys I'm keeping in mind here. Kiddis, did you see the Bears took the Oregon safety and Daniel Jeremiah's mock? How do you feel about that in the first? I did see that. There's mixed opinions on him. I know Jacob Infante, I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, he studies the draft pretty hard. He has him as a late I think he's got him as his 25th prospect, which is where the Bears are picking. So that's probably the early part of his range, somewhere between like 25 and 50. I think there's going to be a lot of players in that range that teams differ on. Like some teams might have him as the 24th best player. Some may have him as like the 42nd. So I think that's probably on the early side of things, but I do think safety is in play in the first round, potentially for the Chicago Bears. I see Wavy Baby. We'll get to your super chat here in just a little bit. Let's see. Dylan Campbell, biggest need on this team is defensive tackle. I'm fine with Banks, Miller, McDonald, Woods, or Hunter. Which one is Hunter, Dylan? Help me out in the chat. Help me out in the chat. I feel like I'm blanking. Lee Hunter. Shout out to my guy Cullen. He's a big Lee Hunter guy, the Texas Tech guy. Yeah, second round. I'm with you, Romy. Yeah, he's a fun player. He's kind of the forgotten man on that Texas Tech defensive line. He's kind of the forgotten guy. All right. Let's see. We got another super chat coming in a moment. Just need it to load. Give me a sec here. All right. From Ben. Should have tanked for Sanders. He's a Pro Bowler now. Man, should have done it. You had a Pro Bowler. Shedeur Sanders. What a joke the Pro Bowl has become. What a joke. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that, if I'm being completely honest. Pretty wild. Pretty freaking wild. Appreciate the super chat, though. Ben, if you guys super chat, we will continue to work those in the show. Okay, let's see if we got any more #Bears questions. Okay, Andres, do you think the Bears should bring in Tanner Engstrand? Yeah, I'm talking about that. So I got an episode coming out after this show, so stay tuned. Just going out as a normal episode, but yeah, I think it'd be interesting. You know, if I don't know if there's currently an open spot on staff, but if Declan Doyle got a different job, like if he took the Ravens job, could Engstrand be in play for the OC? Or if they promoted JT Barrett or Press Taylor, could they bring in Tanner Engstrand for either QB coach or pass game coordinator? I think that's certainly possible. Look, the Jets are a joke. It's hard to really judge what Tanner did in his first year calling plays there. I know there were a lot of people that wanted to promote him as OC in Detroit when Ben left, and Dan Campbell ended up hiring John Morton. So, I would certainly be open to it, especially since it would be a non-play calling role. Okay. #Bears. I want Keenan Allen back. How about you? Not really. Not because Keenan's not a good player. He still is, but he doesn't really do what Ben Johnson wants, and that's yards after the catch. He doesn't want to take hits. He doesn't like blocking in the run game. That's another thing that Ben values. So yeah, I think he's going to stay out west. I think he had his flirtation with the Midwest, and he was like, I'm good. So yeah, I don't expect Keenan Allen to be a Bear again. It was cool though that he came here. I mean, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, and he spent one of his years in Chicago, so that's something. Rebecca, $5 super chat. Harrison, your knowledge of the NFL financials, business, draft values, etc. is impressive. Where do you learn this? I think when you work in an environment like I do with a bunch of other people who cover this sport, you just kind of learn things, whether it's self-taught or by people you work with or people you follow on Twitter. I will say Over the Cap is a very good tool. It's a free website. And you can kind of figure out, okay, you save this much if you cut this guy before June 1st or after. It makes it pretty easy. But yeah, it's a lot of it is just kind of, I've worked in this industry for a while now, so it's kind of my job to know. So it's just doing research, talking to the right people, and figuring it out. There's still certain things that are very complicated, but I do think I know more than the average person when it comes to the financials of these NFL contracts, for example. So definitely appreciate it. $20 from Peace. Since Brad Biggs talked about Ben Johnson having the final say on personnel and that being a big factor when he took the job, does that make you look at Poles' perceived draft success any different? I mean, yes and no. Like I've consistently said with this draft, like, hey, we got to give Poles credit, but at the same time, the 4 big picks or big hits are offensive guys. Clearly, that's Ben Johnson influence. Just like rebuilding the offensive line. Clearly, that's Ben Johnson influence. Now, Poles is still wheeling and dealing. He's still got to pull the trigger. But yeah, Ben Johnson, he's the number one guy in the organization. So I think it's a collaborative effort. Poles and his staff do a lot of the legwork, and Ben Johnson has a big seat at the table when it comes to making those personnel decisions. So seems like it's working out well. Oh, my wife's in the chat. She says hi. I'll tell you what. We're at $53 in super chats. If we cross $100, I'll have my wife and my son PJ hop on the show. What do you guys say? They're hanging out, watching TV, doing their thing. $100, we'll bring them in here. We're at 53 right now. Isaiah going live on a Tuesday was a good surprise. Yeah, so the roads have been bad down here, so we've been working from home, and I was like, I don't want to wait till Thursday to go live. Let's just fire up a stream from home, and feels like the lag has gone away. Is that confirmed in the chat? Has it been a pretty good stretch here for a while now? So I think we're gripping and ripping. Kidda says Horowitz, you know what to do. I haven't seen Michael in the chat today. Is he in there? I haven't seen him in the chat. But yeah, appreciate the 5, Isaiah. Appreciate the 5. This is fun. We got Mike G. Would Sean McDermott be in play as a defensive assistant? If he would be, it would be like a senior defensive analyst. Like, sounds like he's going to take a year off. So if he does work, I think it'll be some kind of like, so people don't even remember this. Mike Vrabel was like basically a consultant for the Browns last year. I think it would be something like that. I don't think it would be a major role. I wouldn't be opposed, though. I mean, he's a good football coach. So if he wanted to join in some capacity like that, I wouldn't be against it. Okay, we got Cash. We'll get to his super chat in a minute. It's got to load in here. Do some hashtag Bears. Mr. Ree, cut Edmonds, 15 mil, extend DJ, 2 years, 10 million guaranteed, save another 15. Problem with extending DJ is he's already under contract for the next 4 years. You want to add 2 more years to that? I mean, you could add void years. That would be, if anything, you'd do that or just restructure. Trade Swift to KC to keep him with Bieniemy for a third, $8 million. I'll say this. I want to keep DeAndre Swift. If a third-round pick's on the table, hey, appreciate your services, DeAndre. I don't think you'd get a third. 6 years in the league, good player, not a great player. I don't think you're getting a third. I think it would be more like a fifth, would be my guess. Trade Rome, first, this and next year for Garrett. I would trade my next 2 first for Myles Garrett. 2 firsts and a 1 for Myles. Man. I'd think about it. And I want to keep Rome, but that'd be tempting. I don't know. I don't know if I could move around. I don't know. I'm not really in the camp of wanting to move a Dunze. Okay, we got Cash here. I feel like Trey Hendrickson is a better pickup than Max Crosby in the Bears situation. You can make that argument. If you tell me, hey, Trey Hendrickson's healthy, you give him 2 years and $58 million, 40 guaranteed or something like that, I wouldn't argue against it. I wouldn't argue against it. Max is a better player, certainly better against the run, but yeah, I mean, if you could get Trey Hendrickson without breaking the bank and guaranteed money, I would be on board. $88 in super chat. So if we get 15 more, I'll get my wife and son to make an appearance here. Let's see, Ben. Where do you think a new veteran would fit best on defense? Where would you like to see a rookie plugged in at? I would like to see a rookie safety. Re-sign Kevin Byard, draft a rookie safety, or draft a safety on day 2. That's nothing against Brisker. I just think he's going to get priced out. Someone's going to pay him. Maybe a linebacker too, safety or linebacker, then potentially a defensive tackle. So a couple rookies on defense is probably what I would say. All right, 20 from Tito. Let's get the fam in here. I want to hear Hannah's take on this Bears smacking the Cowboys. We can make that happen. Also, don't believe on spending big in free agency. Maybe get Hendrickson, but that's all. Building the draft. Ben and Poles cooked last year. They did. You're drafting lower this year, so it's harder. But yeah, I mean, I think you probably make 1 or 2 notable moves in free agency. Then you make like your fringe roster moves, and then the draft and potentially a trade. That's probably what you're looking at if you're the Bears this offseason. All right, we did cross $100, so Hannah, I don't know if you're watching still. If not, I can text her. But if you and PJ want to come in here, Will Williams, I go to college 20 minutes from Gillette. Energy has been insane, even though it was a Mickey Mouse run. I'll say this too, and listen, I'm not trying to spark some Caleb Drake debate. Drake has not been good in the playoffs, and their defense has been awesome. I will say this about Drake May: he's been clutch as a runner. He's made some big runs in big moments, so give him credit for that. But he has not really been the reason why they're in the Super Bowl. But hey, who cares? You're in the Super Bowl, right? Like if I was a Patriots fan, I wouldn't care how it happened. So that's how I feel about it, at least. All right, hang on a sec. My super chats reset here. All right, $10 from Peace. Should the Bears be asking Sweat to work on rushing from the other side? Seems like all the edges in the market primarily rush from the right side. I don't care that much as long as whoever they have on the other side is formidable. I think Booker improved as the year went on. Certainly you like to have your guys that can move around. That's for sure. So, yeah, certainly would like him to be able to move around. I will say this, Max Crosby typically lines up where Sweat does. If you trade for Max Crosby, I'm playing Max Crosby where he wants to play. So Sweat would maybe have to move to the other side. Prometheus, Hannah and Son duo. All right, let me give her a ring here. See if they can pop in for a moment. Hey, I told the chat if we got over $100 in supers, y'all would hop on for a sec.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see about PJ, but yeah, we'll come in.
Well, if PJ's cranky, you can just flash him real quick and then.
Okay, yeah, we'll be right there.
Alrighty. All right. PJ might be a little cranky, so we'll see. They're gonna come in here though, even if it's brief. Okay, let me see where I am at in the super chats. I think I'm caught up on the super chats. Let's see here. All right, impossible. You've seen when teams pay their quarterbacks and then have no money left to help the roster. Dallas and Buffalo, for example. How do you think the Bears avoid that with Caleb Williams? Well, if he's worth the money, there probably isn't much avoiding it. Now, you can be like the Eagles and structure contracts where you don't, you keep pushing money down the road. That's an option. Void years, big signing bonuses, stuff like that. My advice to you guys as Bear fans, we'll cross that bridge when it comes. If the Bears get to a situation where they need to pay their quarterback, that's a good place to be because they have not been in that situation basically ever. So, We'll cross that bridge. All right, I see some people walking in here. All right, give me a sec. Is the mic still sounding good? Last time I switched, the audio got messed up. So let me know. All right, you want to come up here? Oh, no shirt. This is his blanket. He named it Be She. All right. PJ's on the mic. So look at what Hannah's rocking. The FGB hoodie. Oh, Tito said he wanted to get your thoughts on the Bears smacking the Cowboys this year.
It was a rough game because I didn't know who to root for, but I found myself actually rooting for the Bears, which was wild in itself. And my parents were rooting for the Cowboys, and I was rooting for the Bears, and I feel like I've kind of gone to a new side.
Yeah, I feel like by the end of the year, you were definitely more of a Bears fan.
I hate Jerry Jones. But that's every Cowboys fan.
Oh.
You okay?
PJ's had enough, I think. Okay. All right.
All right. Say Bear down. PJ, say go Bears.
Go Bears.
Go. Bye.
Oh, he's waving. Okay.
All right. Bye.
All
Love
right.
you.
Did the cat come in here?
Yes.
Just
Warren. He's saying bye, Daddy.
All right. He said bye, Daddy. See ya. right, I got like 8 million cords and a cat in here. Hang on a second. Oh, he's walking out. Let me get him out. All right. Hopefully that was a fun cameo. He's adorable. He's fun, man. He's fun. He's kind of at an age where he gets a little, when he's upset, he gets a little aggressive, but he's biggest blessing in my life. Those two people right there. So can't complain. Cannot complain. Kitty Manungai. Yeah, our cat Warren. We have another cat, Opal, as well. Thank you, Prometheus. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Okay, let me get where I am. I see a super chat from Drew. We'll get that one. And then we can get some hashtag Bears questions going here. Let's see. Sorry, Drew. It's got to load in. Should load in right here. Not quite. All right. I'll go to a hashtag Bears question, then come back. Let's see. We got Skeptor. How much money do we need for our rookie class? Over the cap may have that. Let me see. At least a projection. Let's look. Okay, it does not have that. Let me see if Spotrac has it. They may not have it until comp picks are awarded. Okay. Spotrac estimates it'll be about 4.8 million based on their current draft slots. Now, if they trade around, add picks, get rid of picks, that can change. But that's the advantage of picking later in the draft is they don't cost as much. Those earlier draft picks carry larger cap hits. So, do we have another appearance? Oh, they want to see the cat? Okay. This is my cat, Warren. Hey, buddy. Warren. He's got what's called cauliflower ears. So it's kind of folded back. Oh, PJ saying, Warren, come on. Hey, buddy. Here, you want to play with Warren? Here, y'all go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Warren Sack. How about Warren Sack? Okay, that last super chat. Okay, here it is. It's finally loaded. All right, Drew, we got you. $2. How'd you become a Bears fan in Texas? I've told this before plenty of times, but I didn't grow up a Bears fan. I did like them from afar because Devin Hester was one of my favorite players. I was devastated when they lost that Super Bowl to the Colts, but once I started doing this for the job, I just kind of grew into it. And now I'm a diehard, as you guys have see every Sunday. So, yeah, it's been awesome. Can't wait for the future. And yeah, I mean the opening to that Super Bowl was one of the best moments ever, even though they lost the game. Okay, Tito, we'll get to your super chat in a second. It's got to load in here. Let's see. Your average Bears fan, would you rather sign Khalil Mack 1 year, $10 million, or sign Trey 3 years, $47? Honestly, if we can sign both, do it. So that'd be about $16 a year for Trey. Depends on the guaranteed money. If the guaranteed money is reasonable, $16 a year for Hendrickson, super cheap. I think it's going to cost more. And quite frankly, I think it's going to cost more than $10 million for Mack. I think it's probably going to be more like 12 on the low end, 18 on the high end. He made 18 this year. So 12 to 18 is probably what you're looking at for Khalil. That would be my guess. Okay, Tito, appreciate the 5. Not a Bears question, but my wife is expecting in a few months, and I'm nervous beyond belief. Any advice on being a new dad and what to expect? Bear down. First of all, congrats. It's amazing. I would say my first advice is, especially when the time comes, you gotta got to be supportive. You got to be there to help, not only when for the delivery, but those first few weeks. It's very taxing on mama. So you gotta be there to help. But honestly, my advice is there's no handbook on how to be a parent. You just kind of figure it out as you go. You can take as many birthing classes, parental classes. Every situation's different. Every kid is different. Just roll with it. If you have family members that live close, use them, especially early on as you're getting settled in. But it's amazing, man. You'll love it, especially if this is something y'all were trying to do. And congratulations to my guy Tito. Mike G, did you see that Pritzker hired a lawyer to keep the Bears in Illinois? I did not see that. I don't know if that's new news, but yeah, it's unfortunate how this is all played out. I'm kind of just tired of the stadium situation at this point. I thought Soldier Field was electric in the playoffs. I understand they need a new stadium. It's old. They want to bring in events, all that stuff. I understand it, but yeah, exactly. Bear for our lives. Just, do the best you can. Do the best you can. I will say this, one piece of advice, especially as they get to be like 18 months and a little older. My son turns 3 in April. Patience is key because they will drive you crazy sometimes and you're going to want to yell. And, occasionally you might raise your voice or something like that. But just, you got to remind yourself they're literally like 1 or 2 years old. So that's where, leaning on your partner really helps. Really helps. Okay. Been live for 43 minutes. I'll make it an hour. We'll go another 17. We're at 115 in supers. So, if we get to 200, maybe we'll extend the show beyond that. But otherwise, we'll hang out another 15 minutes or so. Noah Cash, we should focus more on defense than offense, get Max, trade DJ with some draft picks. Yeah, I mean, I think clearly you're going to focus more on defense this offseason. Now, left tackle has entered the fray here with the Max, with the Ozzie Trapillo situation. I think if you're the Bears, you have to operate as if he's not going to play this year. So that certainly throws a curveball into things, but yeah, I'm with you. You need to load up on defense. We know the offense is good. It's going to be good. It's only going to get better. The defense has to improve. Matt JB, how much do you think the Bears need to spend on defense to become good on both sides? It's hard to put a numerical amount on it. You need to add a legitimate pass rusher, and you probably need at least one linebacker addition and one defensive back addition. If you can do that, and if your core guys can be healthy for the most part, if Kyler Gordon, I think we saw in that last playoff game, if Kyler Gordon's healthy, he changes a lot. He is an X factor, game changer type of player. They need him healthy. They need Jalen Johnson fully healthy. I don't know if Jalen Johnson is going to be peak all-pro Jalen Johnson, but if he's healthy, he can at least be a good player. I think we saw some signs of it late in the year, but he clearly was fighting through stuff. Need a healthy offseason, need a training camp, get him back to where he was or at least close to it. I feel good with Tyreek Stevenson on the other side. I don't expect Nahshon Wright to be back, but I think Reek as a number 2 is fine. I would expect Kevin Byard to return. Good player. Need to hit on a safety in the draft. And you got to make some decisions at linebacker. I think Tremaine probably gets cut. So those are a few things. Impossible Pie. Okay. Who you got in the Super Bowl? I think the Seahawks win. Yeah, I agree. I like Seattle. Let's see what the point spread is looking at right now. The Super Bowl point spread, Seahawks minus 4.5. I think I would take Seattle to cover. I would take Seattle by like 6 to 10 points right now. Drake May is going to have to play better than he has in the postseason for the Patriots to win. Now, the Patriots defense has been excellent, so if Sam Darnold randomly has one of his big turnover games, anything can happen. But if he just plays like he has been, take care of the ball, make timely big plays, lean on Kenneth Walker, the way that defense has been playing, I know the Rams hit some big plays, but I don't think the Patriots have the playmakers the Rams do. So I think if Seattle can kind of control the tempo of the game, I think they're going to be in a good position. Hashtag Bear Super Chat. We'll go for a little bit longer. Zach, do you think Loveland should have at least gotten Offensive Rookie of the Year nomination? Yeah, did we get some finalists? We must have. Yeah, I'm not shocked he didn't. The second half of the year, he was awesome. It was a little slow start for him, at least statistically, but I think by the end of the year, you could argue he was as good as any rookie in the league. I mean, by the end of the year, he clearly was the better rookie tight end than Tyler Warren. I don't think any of the rookie running backs were playing better than him by the end of the year. Tat McMillan had a really good year at receiver. Tyler Shuck, once he got to play, played well. So yeah, if you told me he should have at least been nominated, I certainly wouldn't push back on that. Okay, Philip, what are your thoughts signing Devin White? He would be a great cheaper option, signed with the Raiders last year. He played okay with the Raiders. Kind of some empty calorie stats, though. He's not great in coverage. I want guys who can run. He's beyond his prime. I'd almost rather go after Devin Bush with the Browns. He's kind of had a resurgence the last couple of years, so that is kind of a guy I would maybe consider. But, I mean, if you told me you signed Devin White on a vet minimum deal, sure, but I don't expect him to, be some high-level player. I think he's more of a high-end backup, serviceable starter type. But again, for a couple $1,000,000, I guess I'd be okay with it. DC Viper, should Jade Walker get some wide receiver 3 looks in training camp, if not as a slot? I think we learned this year that there's not really... The Bears wide receiver room, or positioning is pretty positionless. Ben likes guys who can line up at different spots. I think if Jade can learn all of the receiver positions, he's got a chance to be your number 3 next year. If they move on from DJ Moore. If DJ's back, your top 3 is set in no particular order. Rome, Luther, and DJ, Luther, and Rome, DJ, Rome, and Luther. Again, doesn't matter. Wide receiver 1 through 3. Those are going to be your top 3 guys if DJ's back. If not, I think Jade Walker's got a chance to earn that. When he got chances this year, he played well. So, that was a good find by the Bears in undrafted free agency, for sure. Okay. We got... Tim, what do the Bears lose if Ian gets the GM job? I don't know the responsibilities of an assistant general manager. They'd probably promote Jeff King, who's their number 3 guy right now. Look, I think you'd lose a few things. One, it's Ryan Pohl's most trusted lieutenant, so there's an element of trust there. He's worked under Howie Roseman as well, so this is a well-accomplished scout and front office executive. So yeah, I mean, I think you're losing a high-ranking exec that just has an eye for talent and the GM trusts, clearly. So that's why it would suck if the Bears didn't get the comp draft picks, which they should. So not sure what the latest is there. I'm just frustrated that there's no clarity on that situation. But we'll continue to give you guys information as it comes in. Vic748, my college professor today, said that the Bears are winning at least 3 Super Bowls with Caleb Williams. Do you agree? I mean, it's hard to say they're going to win at least 3. I think if he reaches his potential, though, they're going to be in the mix every year, right? Josh Allen hasn't been to one or won one yet, but the Bills are in the mix every year. You want a quarterback that gives you a chance every year. And I think if Caleb takes that next step, he enters that category. He's clearly a good player who elevates in clutch moments. It's about being better for all 60 minutes now. That's the next step for him. If he is, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Because in crunch time, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And he's certainly, in general, one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. But he's just got to be a little bit more consistent. Someone in the chat, Flucus Van Ness, Quay Walker is not good. Whoever gets him is doing an overpay. Yeah, I don't think he's not good in coverage. I don't know if he had a bad year, but someone's going to pay Quay Walker a lot of money, probably like $12 million a year. I don't want that to be the Bears. I do not want that to be the Bears. I'll get to Isaiah's super chat here in a second here. Okay, give me a sec here. Make sure I'm not missing or getting to as many of these hashtag Bears. I already got this one from Andres. Let me see. Robert, I am hearing Deuce Staley or Matt Forte. That'd be cool. I like having former players as position coaches, especially accomplished players, because, yeah, they might not be ready to be like the offensive coordinator or the head coach, but they know that position well. And as long as they have good communication skills, they can coach it. So I would not. Matt Forte coming back would be cool. I don't know if he wants to coach or whatnot. Deuce Staley's been a coach for a while. So, yeah, I would certainly be open to either of those. Let me see. Yeah, just checking Twitter, making sure I don't miss any news. Let me see. All right, all caught up there. Okay, I should be able to get to the super chat now from Isaiah. T-minus 8 minutes, so we're going to sign off at about 6:40 Central Time, unless, if you guys go crazy on the super chats, I'll hang out, but it's almost dinner time in the Graham household, so kind of doing some overtime here. Mike G, did you see... Oh, wait a second. Already did this one. Isaiah, would you give a fourth for Chris Jones? If you can lower the cap hit, yes. He is still an excellent pass rusher from the interior. Now, he's not great against the run anymore, but he is still a really good pass rusher. Was one of the highest graded pass rushing defensive tackles in the NFL this year per PFF. Yeah, I mean, if you can do that and lower his cap hit, I'd be in. The problem is his cap hit, even if you trade for him, is like $35 million. So clearly that's not going to fly. You would either have to extend him to lower that, or the Chiefs would have to restructure before they trade him, or something. Something would have to take place. But listen, his impact on the locker room, he's still a good player. It'd be very similar to the Joe Thuney trade, where it's like, yeah, maybe his peak days are behind him, but he's still very good, and he would bring a lot to that locker room. Like, you put him at defensive tackle, and then all of a sudden Montez Sweat's your second best pass rusher, you're feeling a lot better. I would be very open to trading for Chris Jones. I'd be very, very, very open to that. Let's see. Get a few more hashtag Bears, then I'll circle back to Noob, who super chatted. Philip, in order of need, do you draft 3 tech or defensive end? I think it's more of just like BPA there out of all D-line positions. Like, if an edge rusher is ranked much higher on the Bears board than the next 3 tech, then take the edge. Vice versa. If there's a higher ranked 3 tech, then take the 3 tech. I mean, let's face it, Javon Dexter, if I'm a betting man right now, I would say it's more likely than not he's not here after next season. He'll be here next year unless he's traded. He's solid, but I don't think he's a guy the Bears are like sprinting to extend right now. So I think if you can find a 3 tech that Dennis Allen likes better in this scheme, then I would say that's very much on the table. Michael with the 5, Darnell Wright, first touchdown season opener, calling it. I do wonder how much the elbow injury impacted that possibility, because we all saw in training camp his ball skills. So yeah, I do wonder if that's still on the table down the road. But we'll see. Okay, we already did Mike G. Sorry, it keeps refreshing. So we got Michael. I think we're caught up on the super chats now. Got about 4 or 5 minutes here. Let's go to DC Viper. Could BPA play a factor in the draft if someone the Bears like falls to 25, kind of like Burden fell last year? Yeah, BPA is always going to factor in. Always. I mean, shoot, if Mekhi Lemon fell to 25, I would think about it, and then I would trade DJ Moore later in the draft, right? If they think that highly of a player like that, you always have to be open-minded to those situations. So, you would prefer to go defense, but yeah, I mean, I would certainly be open-minded to those situations. Mister says, you said he's a good player. It's about getting better, and if he does, he'll be the best player in the league. Talking about Caleb Williams, yeah, I mean, I think that is his potential, as being the best quarterback in the league. Now, is he going to be the best quarterback in the league? I mean, you'd probably wouldn't bet on it, but can he be top 5? I think there's a really good chance that happens. I think if you told me right now his accuracy cleans up 4 to 5%, the drops lower, let's say 63% completion next year, and the receivers catch the ball better, I mean, you might be talking about a top 5 quarterback next year. That's not off the board at all. He's got a rocket arm. He can make every throw. His pocket awareness is excellent. He improved so much as an under center play action quarterback. He's only going to get better in terms of the terminology and the overall offense and just the comfort of playing in this system. I think there's a real chance by Halloween next year we're talking about one of the best players in the league. I think that's definitely on the table. And at times this year, it felt like he was one of the best players in the league. It just wasn't, play to play consistent, right? So again, that's the next step. Just tightening some screws. Let's see here. Impossible Pie. Do you have a favorite moment and least favorite from the season? I mean, I don't know if it's one moment. Well, okay. I would say my favorite moment was the DJ catch against Green Bay in the regular season to win that game. Just the walk-off, just one of the throws of the year. Favorite moment in a loss was the 4th down to Cole Kmet in the Rams game. I mean, that's tough to beat. Favorite overall win was clearly the playoff game over the Packers. Hard to pick one moment in that game. I guess just knocking the ball away at the end is what you would pick. Least favorite moment from the season. Got to be that interception against the Rams in the overtime. The DJ and Caleb just not being on the same page. DJ seemingly not running full speed. Again, the Bears didn't throw anyone under the bus, nor would I expect them to there. But, if they get 15, 17 more yards in that situation, if they're on the same page on that pass, they're going to get a field goal attempt. So that has to be the least favorite moment, because if you get that field goal attempt, you trust Cairo Santos to make it, and you're in the NFC Championship. So, definitely a bummer. DC in the chat saying, I would love Caleb Downs at 25. Oh, if Caleb Downs is there at 25, you don't even consider anything else. But it's not going to happen. I actually wonder if he falls outside the top 12, would the Bears consider trading up at that point? I would not rule that out. I would not rule that out. All right, we'll do a couple more. Last call for super chats. I'll do a little 2-minute stopwatch. 2-minute stopwatch. If we don't get a super chat in those 2 minutes, we'll sign off. Mr. Taverio, we already hit this one. Pardon me. Let's see. We've hit most of your questions. Sure, I've missed some. Don't think I've hit this one. Seth, Hendrickson, Mack, Bosa through free agency. Trade for Crosby would be awesome, though. Bijan, if he becomes a free agent. Bijan is not a free agent. He's under contract, and he's not going anywhere. Draft defense heavy this year if they don't make a big free agency move. Yeah, I mean, I think even if they sign a player or two in free agency, they're still going to probably lean defense in the draft. Last year was an offensive heavy draft. You would think it would flip more so this year. All right, there's one super chat. A couple coming in, so we'll get those on the show. Downs is a top 5 pick. I agree, but then Daniel Jeremiah had him falling to like 11. I think it could be a positional value thing, but to me in a draft that's not that loaded at the top, I'd be taking him. Like the Jets at 2 should probably just take him. Jets at 2 should probably just take him. Denver doing the Raiders dirty. Yeah, is there an update there? Sorry, responding to a text here. Let me get these super chats loaded in here. Shout out Prometheus for the 5. We appreciate it. I'll get Isaiah and Noob on the show soon. Gotta let those load in, though. So give me a minute. Thank you guys for hanging out. This has been fun. If you want more of these just at home, just kind of chill Q&A streams, then get the bear downs going in the chat. Just kind of laid back, hanging out. I got you, Philip. I'll try to. It's hard when you have a 2-year-old at home, but I'll try to work more in. Shout out Noob, Prometheus, Impossible for getting the bear downs in the chat. Try to do more of these. Isaiah with the FGB, appreciate it. Isaiah. And then Michael saying Denver doing the Raiders dirty. Yeah, it sounds like the reason they fired their OC, Joe Lombardi, is to promote Davis Webb. Could you imagine a scenario? Davis Webb says no to the Raiders, goes back to Denver. Clint Kubiak's the Raiders' last option. They wait through the Super Bowl. What if he says no? What if he's like, I'm sticking in Seattle? What if they're like, we'll pay you $6 million to stick around as our OC? Then what? Like you're back at square one. It would be the most Raiders thing ever. And by the way, that's with having $100 million in cap space and the number 1 overall pick. And a tradable asset in Max Crosby if you want more draft compensation. So, I mean, I don't know. That's maybe to go try to get Shieldhouse, just beg him to take the job. I don't know what you do in that scenario. None of that's official, by the way. Davis Webb is still in play with the Raiders as of now, but it's fascinating to say the least. Okay, I see a couple more supers coming in. We'll get those on the show. All right. Once these super chats load, I'll hit those, and then we'll probably sign off. Lazy says, "Have Cullen over, then do it." What, these streams? Yeah, I mean he lives like an hour from me, so probably not. But could do something where maybe we zoom him in or something. You never know. Okay, let's see if the new super chats load in. Here we go. All right, Jake with the 5. Shout out to you, brother goat of Bears content creation. Just want to let you know. I appreciate that, man. There's a lot of good ones out there. So kudos to everyone out there doing it. I take a lot of pride in competing in this space, and I think our audience, you guys, appreciate what we do. So thanks for the support, and we're keeping it rolling. Okay, last one, unless one comes in the next 30 seconds or so. Alex Amerling, hoping Lee Hunter does not play himself out of our range. Yeah, I mean, I think that late second round is about his range right now. So we'll see. I mean, the draft process is just getting going. The bowl games are happening right now. Shrine Bowl took place last week. Senior Bowl. We'll have the Combine in less than a month. Pro days. So it's ramping up. And Cullen Draft Crushes, speaking of Cullen, coming back soon. I would say maybe Thursday or Monday. So stay tuned. All right. This was fun. Appreciate everybody for hanging out today. We're going to get out of here. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Maybe it's your first time here. This is the first time doing kind of an at-home stream like this. So this was a lot of fun. We'll try to work more of these in throughout the off season. Might sprinkle one in, maybe like once a month or something like that. We'll still have our normal live schedule, but appreciate you guys for being here as always. Get the bear downs in the chat, like the video as well, and we'll be back in studio tomorrow. Normal live show Thursday. So see you guys then. Bear down.